guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, September 26th, 2025. Welcome to another eBay video. The main topic of tonight's video will be my offering good customer service on eBay, getting me a defect, and eBay refusing to remove it. I will first describe the incident, which has been an ongoing incident, and then I will do a cutaway just to prove to you that everything I'm telling you is correct. Personally, I feel my word is good. When I come out here and tell you something, you can always trust me. I'll never lie to you, I'll never sugarcoat anything, and I'll never throw shade when it shouldn't be thrown. But I do feel that I owe it to the community to show screenshots just to reinforce what I'm saying and to help you guys in case this ever happens to you, because I have heard similar but not exact stories to this, not to this extent. So yeah, that'll be the main topic of tonight's video. I'm also going to talk about the swap meet I went to a few days ago, last weekend. Some interesting stories there if I can squeeze them in. Plus some other eBay topics, whatever I have time for in less than half an hour. Now, I'm going to start off with the most important topic, which is my getting an unfair defect and eBay refusing to remove it. Okay, I'm going to show you that first. However, in order to see that, you have to be a channel member and you have to pay me money. And you have to subscribe to my locals. You have to buy my hats. You have to buy my shirts. You have to click the 56 links in the description box below so I can get a cut out of everything you buy. So anyone that's not going to do that, you ain't getting to see this. Just fooling. I had you going, didn't I? I will never be that person, okay? My job is to make money on eBay and locally, and I make plenty. Not bragging, just saying, I shouldn't have to ask you for money. If I can't make my money on my own, then I got a problem, okay? I will never ask you for money as long as I live, okay? It just bums me out. So many channels wanting you, viewers, to subscribe to their locals. Not so much eBay content, but other things that they can't post on YouTube. And the clickbait links. Two of the absolute worst will be when someone says, I am quitting eBay, or I am done with YouTube. Now, when you see a title like that, you think, wow, there's something big happening. Let me check it. It's just clickbait to get views and likes. I'm not like that. My title is about what the video is going to cover. Okay? All right, I'll get off my soapbox now and I'll tell you my story. Those of you guys who've been watching the channel for the last few weeks will remember this story. It started several weeks ago when an older lady purchased an alloy wheel center cap. She got it and it was incorrect because she's old and she didn't read the listing. I had the part number right in it. All right, she admitted that the part number didn't match hers and thought it would still work. What do you expect? Now, I understand things happen. I have no problem with that. Mistakes happen. But I get really pissed off when people circumvent the eBay return system and call me personally. That is a big no-no, and I won't allow it. They didn't buy it from me over the phone. They're not returning it over the phone. You may remember I've been talking about this for weeks. This lady was the first person in my 26-year eBay career to call me on a Sunday. The absolute nerve of her, I almost cannot put into words, and I don't even want to think about it because I'm going to lose control and I'm going to go into one of my things, and we don't need that. So, anyway, she did call me on a Sunday. I was going to blow her off, but I realized she's dumb enough to falsely claim item not as described. So I walked her through the correct procedure to file for a return. Wrong size doesn't fit. Okay, she did that. No problem. I thought I was done with the agony, but instead of just printing out a label and sending it back, she sent it back on her own, and I showed you the box a couple of weeks ago. Now here's where it gets dicey. I had the box. The item was $23 for the item, plus the shipping, I think, was around $7 or something. I want to return the $23, but not the shipping. Now, because she didn't use eBay labels, there is no conceivable way on eBay to do this. The only way to do it is cancel the transaction and give her back everything. The 23 plus the original shipping. That's not happening. Okay? So I've got two choices. Think about it. One, I can throw it in the corner and forget about it. Let the case time out, and she's going to lose because she violated the eBay procedure. Or I can be a genuinely nice guy, offer good customer service, ask for a call back from eBay, explain to the concierge rep what happened, and see if I can get this lady her $23 back that way. And that's exactly what I did. And that is the beginning of the downfall of Cute Joey. So I spoke to the rep, as I told you last week. She said, I see exactly what the problem is. This is a little difficult to handle because the lady circumvented the return system. She goes, but I can open a case in your behalf and I'll give you the $23 back and it will not impact you in any way. You'll get no defect. I said, fine. So I got a message from eBay saying a case was opened. They sided with the buyer and they were giving her back $23. Now the verbiage seemed a little weird, sided with the buyer, but it was $23 back, which was what I wanted, so I thought I was safe. I wasn't. The other day, I happened to go into my seller hub, and I noticed I have a defect. Case closed without seller resolution. What the hell is that? I've never had that in my life. In my life! Sure enough, it was this crazy deal. So I requested a call back from another concierge rep. I explained everything. He looked at it. He said, I see exactly what you're saying. Everything you're saying is true. However, anytime you call concierge or ask for a callback and get us involved and we open a case, you're getting a defect. I said, what the hell is this? That's not right. I said, I could have just put this on the side and forgot about it. But no, I want to be a good guy. I want to give the lady her $23 back and you're going to stick it to me? He says, there's nothing I can do. I do see where you spoke to the representative on September 11th or whenever it was. I'm going to put some notes for her because maybe she had something in mind she could do to help you. That was, Christ, that was probably last Monday. That was the Monday that just passed. I've never heard anything back. So I've got a defect, an undeserved defect, and people have been asking me if I'm pissed off. And up till right now, I really didn't have an answer for them. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm pissed off. That being said, let's go to the cutaway where I can show you the screenshots. Please pay attention to the screenshots so you can see everything is on the up and up. Okay guys, please pay attention to the screen while I walk you through this particular incident. It's very important that you understand how this went down because there's a good chance this could happen to you and eBay is going to hang you out to dry. So the other day, I took a look at my Seller Hub and I saw this right here, transaction defect rate, which up till now has always been 0 because I never let it get to this point. So I decided to find out which particular transaction it was, and it was this one. Now you may remember I've been speaking about this over the last few weeks. Notice that in the title, I even have the part number in the title as well as in the description. But of course, people don't read, especially when they're older. That's basically to be expected. In the next screen, you can see the person here is in fact admitting it doesn't fit, meaning they purchased the wrong size. They're only asking for the $23 back, not the shipping, because you may remember that this person circumvented the eBay return process and had the unmitigated balls to call me personally on a Sunday. Well, I instructed her that the whole deal has to be kept on eBay and that the return has to be done through eBay because it's a buyer remorse return, and I instructed her how to do it, and she did it correctly. See, she wants $23 back, not the shipping. So what happened is she sent the item back to me without using eBay labels, which is a mistake, okay? All buyers must use eBay labels in order to complete the return properly. Now, when I got the item back, I could have just said, well, she screwed up, I'm not going to do a thing, and I would have let the case time out, and she would have lost the $23. But I decided to try and do the right thing with eBay. And let me tell you something. With eBay, have you ever heard the old saying, no good deed goes unpunished? Well, this is a perfect example. So I decided I would call or request a call back from Concierge because it would not let me refund $23. It would only let me refund the full purchase price with the original shipping because she didn't go through eBay labels. So I did, in fact, call or request a callback. Let's go to the next screen now. And the representative said she would open a case on my behalf and I'd only have to refund the $23, okay? And it would not count against me. She said she could fix it so it would not count against me. So I shortly thereafter got this message saying they were going to grab $23 out of my account, which is exactly what I wanted. So I thought everything was fine. But everything is not fine because, as I said, I just noticed that I've got the strike against me, the transaction defect. Now here, eBay is claiming falsely that the item was not as described without seller resolution. This is a freaking lie. A freaking lie. Let's go back because I want you to see this because you just... Look, here's the original one. She was honest. She said it doesn't fit. There's nothing about an item not as described case, okay? Here, they're twisting the story and they're claiming it's my fault when it's not. So as you know, I did call again. I requested a call back again. The agent looked at the case and said, I see everything you're saying is true, but there's nothing I can do about it. Anytime we get involved, you're getting a defect. Thanks a lot, eBay. Back to the video. I am absolutely shocked that eBay will not remove that defect. Even though it's in black and white, I did nothing wrong. It's almost beyond my comprehension. Why are they so unreasonable about certain matters? Now, I realize one defect is not going to kill me. I'm still top rated, but it's the principle of the thing. I went out of my way to do the right thing when the buyer made every possible mistake that she could. What is the problem? The problem is eBay is operating like it's 1996, okay? It's not. It's 2025. There are so many loopholes in the return system that it's absolutely sickening. It's despicable. When these things happen to me, as this one did, and eBay will not do the right thing, I feel it's my job to present it to you. Okay? I've had some people tell me similar stories that they got unfair defects in the past. Not exactly the same situation as mine, but I just think it is wrong on so many levels. Everything must be taken on a case-by-case basis. Keep in mind, I was dealing with concierge reps from the United States, not these outsourced Philippine representatives. No. I had the people that actually are supposed to know what's going on. One obviously didn't know what she was doing, and the other guy seemed unconcerned. You called us. Now you get a defect. Is that the way it's going to be? Well, I can tell you something. If that defect isn't taken away, I swear to God, next time someone circumvents the eBay return system, they're not getting a refund. That's going in the pile. All right? No good deed goes unpunished. I think it's wrong on so many levels. And I'm going to have to stop talking about it because I can feel I'm going to go into one of my things. So let me just have a sip of coffee. All right. Let's move on. Sales this week were decent. They were better than they've been. So I'm happy to report that. They weren't great, but they were decent. I'm satisfied. A couple of weird things happened sales-wise. Number one, I had a guy open a return, and his reason is change mind. Nothing weird about that, except for he doesn't even have the item yet. He bought the item from me, let's just say Monday. I shipped it Tuesday out to California. Wednesday, return, change mind. He still doesn't even have the item. I don't know what's going on with that guy. I was extremely slow over the weekend. When I said, well, let me rephrase that. I sold nothing over the weekend. And I'm glad because I was at the swap meet for 2 days and I did not run my usual 10 or 15% off sale Saturday and Sunday because I knew I'd be away. Actually, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I didn't do it all 3 days because I knew I'd be away and I wouldn't be around to do boxing. I didn't want to have to do it. All right? My friend and I went to the swap meet. So I was glad I sold nothing. But when I came back on Sunday, later in the day, I started a sale and that jump-started sales. So that was pretty good. What I'd like to talk about now, I have some interesting swap meet stories I'd like to tell you. Things that happened to us this past weekend. I don't know how many of you guys go to swap meets, but it is just such an interesting experience. It's a lot of work. You're going to do a lot of walking because these things are usually pretty huge. And if you're buying bulky stuff like I am, you're going to be lugging heavy material. I have a big garbage can, one of them big heavy plastic garbage cans with the wheels on the back, and I use that because it holds a lot of merchandise. My friend uses a wagon, he drags that along. And we go, we mosey around, and we deal with the vendors. There are basically two type vendors. Ham and eggers, like you and me. Regular guys, regular ladies, who bring their stuff and want to make a few bucks. Then you got your nasty professional sellers. You can spot them a mile away. If you go up to somebody's booth and you see piles of merchandise in no particular order, that's the person you want to deal with. That's the guy who's going to give you a good deal. But if you see everything spread out like you're walking into Kohl's with license plates encased in plastic, with their whole history written out under it, keep right on walking. because that guy's going to want 50% over true retail. And they're going to have an attitude because that's their job. All they do is go from swap meet to swap meet, mainly on the East Coast, hawking the same things every year. My friend and I always joke around when we get to certain people. I'll say, hey, look, there's our friend from last year. Remember him? Got the same exact merchandise he had last year because he won't come down a penny. Not a penny. And his price is so freaking inflated and the quality's not good. And of course, sometimes they have the whole life story under the item. 1968 Mustang. You are getting all 4 of these pieces. They're in excellent condition. But get real. You can spot them a mile away. Usually I'll walk right by them. But if it's somebody that gave me a hard time in the past, then maybe if I have a little time, I'll try and engage with them. Like, I'll say, hey, what's up? I remember you last year. Remember you were asking $25 for this and I offered you a lesser price? Let's just say 15. 99% of the time they'll remember me because I leave that kind of impression in them. And they say, yeah, I remember you. I'll say, have you lowered the price to $15 yet? Knowing damn well they haven't. No, the price says marked. It's $25, same as last year. I said, well, you still have it, same as last year. I'm not buying it. And I'll walk away and they'll start screaming something at me. But, yeah, okay, I'm poking the bear a little bit, but it's enjoyable, I just don't know why people don't want to deal. Now, conversely, some of them are the nicest people in the world. I'll make a pile of stuff. I'll say, how much do you want for this? And they'll say, you know what? Why don't you make me a good deal and you can have all of it? The pile you picked out plus the pile over here, which I rejected. And they're willing to give me a very good deal. And I'll always deal with those people. Sometimes they'll have prices marked on the item that are just so out of this world. Like something that I can sell for $50 that I'm willing to spend $25, they'll have marked $100. That scares people away. I don't know why they do that. I'm 50-50 with those people. Sometimes I won't even attempt to engage them. Sometimes I will. So there was this one guy that had such items. We saw him the first day. I didn't engage. The second day, he was there with the same items. So I said, well, now I stand a better chance. So I said, I saw you yesterday with these items, and I got to be honest, you're way overpriced. I said, I'm interested in buying everything in this section here. And he said to me, make me an offer. So I made him a fair offer of $80. He snapped it right up. Now, if I would have gone by face value, he had everything marked $25 each. I'd have been spending over $200 and something, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But I was happy. I got them at what I think was a fair price. He was happy, and it worked out. Usually, the people at swap meets, the vendors, are older people. Not all, but some. Sometimes you'll run into a man, middle-aged guy, with his young son. When I say young son, I'm talking, let's say 12 to 15. There aren't that many of them, but sometimes they come in these camper-type vehicles where they stay for 2 or 3 days, they sleep there, and they bring their young son with them, maybe to teach them the business. I've run into a bunch of these over the years, and we ran into one this particular time. So we had these Ford hubcaps I wanted. They were okay. They were okay, but they all had faded emblems. The good news is you can change the emblem. The bad news is I don't have good emblems to put in them. So I'm very limited. So he wanted $20 for them. Now, if the emblems were good, I would have given it to him, but they weren't. So I offered him, I said, and by the way, For some reason, the old man wasn't in attendance. I don't know where the old man went off to, but the kid was working it. And I'm not really used to dealing with kids. So I said to him, I'll give you $12 for these. And he says, no, I can't go that low. I'll go 15. I said, well, the reason I'm only offering you 12 is because I want to show you that these emblems are all worn out and they're no good. They have to be replaced. Because I didn't think he knew. And he said, no, I still got to get $15. And I said, well, I just can't go 15. I said, I bought a lot. I'm willing to give you 12. Take them off your hands right now. And he responded by saying, I'll think about it. Or I'll have to think about it. Not exactly the response I expected from a 13-year-old kid, but we did not make a deal. So we started walking away, and my friend said to me, do you remember him from last year? Him? I said, no. He goes, yeah, you dealt with him and his old man. You bought some Chevy hubs from the old man. The kid was there, and the kid corrected the old man as to what year they fit. I knew what year they fit, but the old man didn't. But the kid did. And when my friend reminded me of the incident in question, then I remembered him. But it's odd that I didn't remember him from last year. And of course, we met an eclectic group of people. Most were pretty friendly. There were these two that weren't. They were sitting in the shade under a canopy, and they won't even get up. They want you to lug the merchandise up to them. So they had these 4 center caps, small things like this, that type thing. And he had them way overpriced at $25 for 4. I said, would you take $10 for these? No, I want 25. I can't go 25. Well, then you're not getting them. Put them back. Okay. I left. Next day, we're back again. Same guy. Still got him. $25. I couldn't resist. I said, listen, I talked to you yesterday about these. Remember me? I said, I offered you $10. Have you lowered the price? It says $25. I want $25. Then I'm not buying them. And I just walked away. But, if you would have said 15, I probably would have done it. 15 would have been max. But 25 is way overpriced. Anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about the swap meet today. I just wanted to give you guys a little story. Maybe you found it interesting, maybe you didn't. And I'm going to have to cut the video off now because I see we're getting to maximum time. I don't like to go longer than half an hour because I know you guys have plenty of other things to do besides watching me on a Friday night. I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it entertaining, informative, and enlightening. Please feel free to comment any comments, questions, concerns you want. Please address the unfair defect I got and how you feel about that, and has it ever happened to you? Because if it does, I want to know about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you make a ton of money on eBay this week. Rock on and peace. Stop the presses, guys. One more thing. One last note. After I made the video earlier, after I filmed it, I contacted eBay through their the Facebook page, and I explained my situation. They got back to me and they said, okay, just verify your credentials and we'll check into it. And I did. And they said, Joseph, you're correct. The eBay customer service representative did not handle this correctly. We will handle it correctly, and you will see that defect disappear between 3 and 5 days. It was a mistake, a pretty serious mistake, on the part of the eBay Concierge representative. Imagine that. The eBay Facebook page seems to have their act together. But concierge reps are making pretty serious mistakes. So I just thought I would make this little bookend to the video and let you guys know that the matter is going to be resolved in cute Joey's favor. Okay? This time, I'm really done. I'm Crazy New York Driver, you're non-rock on, and peace! And, and after I made the video, I made several sales today.